Harmony of the Seas, and I want to hook up a Fire Cube or Fire Stick to my TV. First problem you have is getting the HDMI cord into the TV. It is not easy. The pivot point on this TV especially is right where the HDMIs come in. You can get it in there, it does take you a long time. Second problem you have is changing the input. Now, on some of the TVs, there is a button in the back, but we have found on several cruises that that button doesn't always work. You press on the button, see, like it's telling me no. So you have to have another way to change the input. Now we have a GE universal remote that controls the TV. This is a Samsung, and that's what has been in every one that we've ever been on. So you will have to look up the code for Samsung TVs or whatever type of TV it is. We bring a list of the codes, but this time the codes that we used didn't work. So I had to go back online, find some more codes for the TV because it's a newer TV. So I found the remote code, and then I can change the input. And you go up here to the top and you move it to whatever HDMI input you're in. Okay. Then, when you'll come up on this screen, that's the first screen you get to. Then you go to network and you try to sign into the Wi-Fi Guest Harmony internet. The problem with that is it is a secure network, and you have to show your username and password to get into their system. But there's nowhere on this system to do that. So what you have to do is you have to launch another program within the Fire Cube or Fire Stick that will allow you to do that. So I have a program on my Fire Cube. All you have to do to get it is when you have your main screen up, when you are searching for stuff, there will be a icon there for searching for stuff. Just type in downloader, you can download it. It's easy to download. It's not that hard. It takes 30 seconds. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to go in under applications, which is where all your, and to do this you're going to have a mouse so that you can navigate through the menus that you're using. And before you come, it'd be better to have Downloader installed on your Fire Cube or Fire Stick. And you're going to be looking for an application under, you can go under Manage Installed Applications to do that, called Downloader. It basically works just like a browser. You launch the application, and then you're using your login just like you would on your phone. When you have the Zoom package, you use the login and you type in login. Like here on Harmony, it's login.com. And then when that screen comes up, that's when you'll have to use the mouse there. And you'll type in, and then you go back and back again, and then it'll be here. And then you go down and you sign in, just like you normally would. You log in and you take it away from whatever other device you're using. And then you can, alright, now everything comes up just like it normally would. You have all your apps to use, but you'll have to log in almost daily on this thing. It almost automatically shuts you off or somebody takes it from you, so you're going to have to redo that. But Downloader makes it easy to get to that web page so you can do it real quick. I believe Downloader has a mouse installed in part of it so that you can navigate their visual window there. If you don't have a mouse, you can download Mouse Toggle or something like that off of something else before you come. You need downloader and all that before you come, because there's no way to get it onto your Fire Cube or Fire Stick once you get here without logging into the network. So
now that we're back from the cruise and I look over the recordings that we had, I just kind of want to do a summary real quick of what you need to do before you go, and then what you need to do when you get there. So before you go, for your stick or cube, whatever, make sure that you have a browser on it. It doesn't matter what kind of browser. My husband likes to use the downloader browser, but you could use any kind of browser, anything that you're able to access the internet. So just make sure that you have something to that effect on your stick. Also, it makes it a lot easier for you if you have a mouse also. So you can always go to the Play Store and download a mouse so that you're able to like navigate onto the screen. As long as you have those two things before you go, then it shouldn't be an issue when you get there. Once you're there, the hardest part I think is just trying to access the ports. A lot of times the input button is disabled. We have found probably on the 8 cruises that we've been on that maybe 2 times it hasn't been disabled, but the other 6 times it has. So, you know, check the input, see if it does change, which is great. But if it doesn't, then that's when the universal remote comes into play. So you do need a universal remote to bring with you. I believe so far they've all been Samsung TVs, so the universal remote we have works really well. I would bring a list of codes that might work for Samsungs, and then you can also access your internet when you get there. We keep a zipper bag with the remote and the codes in it, and then we just keep it in our suitcase so that when we go on cruises we don't forget to bring it. So once you get there, then you can get onto your browser, you can type in login.com, and once you do that, you'll get the access page where you're able to enter your user ID and password. So just make sure that you bring along a universal remote. Any cheap kind of universal remote will work. I wouldn't go into anything fancy. And then make sure you have that browser. So we hope that this has helped you, because we tried a really long time to try to find what works. So we wanted to share to make sure that everybody else understood they can access the internet when they're there. All right, bye-bye.